All right, let's get into it. Crumpets Compton here, y'all, aka Jimmy J, aka J Legend, aka the best in business. First, we gonna talk about this whole Shannon Sharp situation where he's getting sued. It's a crazy situation. This man's getting sued, and yeah, you just got people that's trying to target him, trying to end his career, especially these females. It's like a whole Me Too situation where they're attacking him. And when you're a high profile entertainer slash athlete, yeah, you got people that's coming out the woodwork just to try to get a money grab, just like they was with Jay-Z. And actually, this is the same lawyer, yeah, that's suing him and Tony Busby. You got this OnlyFans chick. Everybody keeps saying she's 20. No, she actually was 22. She was over 21. She was legal. You're 20, you're legal, but she was over the drinking age. She's 22. That do matter. She's currently in 2025, 24 years old. So they making it like this girl like an underage, but the thing about community, especially a lot of these women and a lot of these simp dudes, they say all this goofy stuff, but they don't mention the fact that you got females like Dre and Michelle, being predatory. That's just the same. They trying to call Shannon Sharp predatory. You got a chick, but he's actually a victim. You had chicks like Dre and Michelle being predatory and targeting that dude, targeting the young dude, Jalen. He barely 20 years old. That chick is above drinking age. That's a difference. She's 24 years old now. She wasn't 20. She was 22. Yeah, she was 22 years old. Now she's 24. Yeah, she was 22 years old. But they sitting there saying all this goofy stuff. This ain't all this goofy stuff about this man. And did all that, but the woman was a grown woman. She was 22 years old. She still was grown. You know, you had a black chick, but she tried to justify. You got all these females out here trying to justify they BS, but yeah, but but they wasn't holding Dre Michelle accountable, and they wasn't holding that other girl accountable with Ant Man, Anthony Edwards. When that girl was attacking Anthony Edwards, they wasn't. They wasn't doing none of that. They wasn't doing none of that. And but when it comes to the Shannon Sharp case, yeah, yeah, she dropped the audio. They had a small snippet of it. They really trying to set this man up. That woman legal. They both are two consenting adults. We know she in her 20s, but she's still a grown woman. She knew better. It wasn't like she was a minor. Yeah, she was over the age of 21. She was 22 years old at that time. She's 24 now. She know better. She just dropped that off. She's 24 years old now. She ain't no little kid. She a grown woman. Yeah, she a grown woman. Yeah. Yeah, she grown. Yeah. You old enough to drink. She's old enough to drink. Yeah. You old enough to drink. You old enough to make your own decisions. You old enough to get married. She ain't no victim. Shannon Sharp is the real victim. She targeted him and tried to set him up and all that. And now suing him 50 million for what? Yeah, she trying to get a money grab. Why if he did all that, why she ain't did a criminal lawsuit? Because no, she trying to get a money grab. She trying to get that money. Yeah, she trying to get that money. But it's a shame that woman trying to ruin that man's career. But you got all these people being hypocritical. They ain't holding her accountable, but they trying to talk about Shannon Sharp shouldn't have moved there. How else could he move? Yeah. Yeah, Jay-Z, he got sued by the same guy. He's married, but he still got sued. He married, he got a family, he still got sued. So what's their point? Yeah, he still got Target. Yeah, he got set up. Yeah, she was 22 years old. She wasn't no 19. She was 22 years old. I don't know why people keep running around here talking about she's 19. She's not 19. She was 20. Yeah, she was 22 years old. She was above drinking age. You above drinking age, you know better. She knew better. But all these people, these simp dudes and these women, they tell you something different. This man being targeted and profiled. One thing I would have suggested to Shannon that he just gotta he just gotta but there was nothing really he could have did, except for paying attention and get it. But that woman, she got to be held accountable. Now there was certain stuff Shannon could have did. He could have paid more attention, but he didn't know that girl had him on camera. But you got to pay attention to all that too. But he didn't know, and it ain't got nothing to do with her being a younger woman. Because you got old women doing the same thing. Yeah, you got older women doing the same thing. You got Dre and Michelle. You had the other chick that was messing with Ant-Man, Ant-Man baby mom, Anthony Edwards. But yeah, Shannon is able to beat this and make that girl look stupid and make Busby look stupid. He lose another case. Cause I think Jay-Z could beat that. I think he could beat it. Despite even though the dude looks bad, but she ain't show the whole clip. But they ain't show the whole clip. But it's crazy. But you do when you get that type of money, that type of fame, you do gotta watch your back. You can't say certain stuff on the phone, certain crazy stuff on the phone. These females will get you caught up. They'll really get you caught up. They'll really get you caught up. But I'm gonna go to the next topic. You got John the Dotson. Yeah, the Eagles. Yeah, declined his 5th-year option. So he got 1 more year to play with the Eagles. So, but he's worth the 3rd-round pick. We got the Super Bowl with him. He made some key catches. So that's what we worried about. He did what he needed to do. We became Super Bowl champions. We gonna hope to run it back. But it is bittersweet. Bittersweet. Eagles, Eagles. Yeah, we on the verge to resetting the roster and going for another run. We're going for another run. But it's not too much we gotta say. This is the Crown Prince of conversating. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Peace.